Hi guys, it's Jessica, back to continue with these updates here. I think it's like April 4th or something like that. But I decided to split things up so that this video wasn't going to be 2 hours long. So this is something that has happened this last month in Dollyland. And this is my fifth motif Veneto. He has moved to this body. And this body is assume Idelian 72 centimeter body. It is a very big, heavy, very, very heavy body. This is one of my heaviest guys. I mean, nobody outweighs Cernunos, but this is a pretty heavy doll. But this was, this body was one of those, I wouldn't say so much like an impulse buy, but it was definitely like, it was a price that I couldn't resist or that I couldn't turn away from. And I do eventually, I don't think I'll have enough time today with all the updates I have to make. I really have been wanting to do those nerdy doll girls, never have I ever tag videos. She made 2 of those, and I love the questions, and been loving watching people's responses to those. But yes, you know, something that's on sale, because this body, when it first came out, which wasn't that long ago, this was like a $700 body, and the Idelian 75 centimeter body came out with a lot of improvements, and this body kind of lost a lot of its value. I guess this is kind of what people who know Zoom were explaining to me. So I didn't have a lot of expectations, and some of the people I talked to about this body didn't have a lot of great things to say about it. And so the fact that it was only $250, and the other was that it had this gorgeous blushing. I mean, he's wearing clothes so you can't see all of it, but even his feet are just gorgeously blushed. He's in tawny resin, so obviously at some point I'm going to have to blush him to match this. And there's a lot of unfortunately a lot of damage. There's this tattoo, and at some point I do want to try to seal him again and preserve it as much as possible. If that will even work, I don't know. It's something I want to try. I wasn't expecting anything from this body. Like, I was expecting it to basically be a thing to put a head on, and I had planned I was going to use it for my Solus head. And Solus was on here for, you know, the first week or 2 that I had this body. He has been on it, you know, and that was the plan for it. And started bodies or head swapping, just kind of seeing who fit what, with all the new bodies that have come in. And lots of people have been wanting to find out bodies that they could put their Veneto on, so I put my Veneto head on every body that I own. I've put him on it to see if it was a potential hybrid. And I put him on here, kind of not expecting a lot from that, and I'm really liking it a lot. And I put him back on his regular body for a few days, and then I just, you know, I really like that. And the reason being is that his character, Amergen, this body is just perfect. He's supposed to be a pretty big, muscular, strong guy, and the fifth motif, Timeless body, is a lot more kind of gangly. And here's Lola, she's snoring it up for us. But yeah, just this very gangly kind of aesthetic, which I love, love that body, but it just wasn't right for Amergen. And when I put him on this body, because I love the face sculpt for Amergen, you know, and I had the face up artist that did this. I wanted my instructions where he needs to look grumpy. You know, he just needs to look like a very grumpy guy. And this face sculpt is just so good for that. But yeah, once I put him on this body, it really felt like, yep, that this is Amergen. And as I've played more with this body, I've become, you know, it has its issues, it definitely does, but the shoulder joints, I don't know, there's a lot of really kind of different things in this body that I'm careful with posing him too much because I don't want to chip the blushing anymore, especially before I've had a chance to work on it. But he's just the blushing, it really helps too. But isn't he gorgeous? Isn't he beautiful? He's so beautiful. So yeah, I have come to appreciate this body a whole lot more, and if given the opportunity to get another one, that's a possibility that I might get another one of these bodies. I really love the Idelian 75, which is the more updated version of this body, but that one is still, you know, that one's still going for $600–700. So yeah, there's a lot of $700 guy bodies I got my eye on, hoping that they're going to come down in price. But yeah, this is heavy, like holding this up. Yep, definitely big heavy guy. But this is what the character was meant to be. So I'm very happy with him on this body. Yeah, just really fits the aesthetic of, you know, what he was supposed to be. So you might ask, well, you know, where's my timeless body? You know, what's going on with that? So I'll show you. If you've been on my Instagram, then you probably, a lot of people already know what's been going on with that. But he's still here, of course, and right now I have my Guha head, who is this very, I think he's considered, he's Dalshi pale, so, which is basically white skin. And of course he is a fifth motif sculpt by the same artist that made Veneto, and this was the body that he was meant to go on. And I have been thinking, you know, my plan has been that I'm going to put him on either a either a long sole body or a Dalshi, depending on what comes my way. But once Veneto moved to the Idelian body, well, let's put Guha on here, and yeah, I really love him. He's a gorgeous doll, and he's I don't often feel the urge that I want to paint my dolls. I'm usually too afraid, or I'm just intimidated by the whole sealant thing. But when we have any decent weather, I think I'm going to try to tackle him and blush him to match this body. That part's not hard at all. The blushing to match from white skin to base or pale to, I think this is fresh. So that's, yeah, they're very, it's 1 or 2 layers of pastel, if even that. So that part's not hard. But I love the the aesthetics of this body. This is one of the most beautiful bodies. It's just a very long, elegant, I don't know if I want to use the word elegant. It's got a bit of awkwardness to it that I just really love. And I know I'm not the only one. Lots of people really love this body. And I am the biggest regret, or one of the biggest regrets I have in this hobby, is not trying to secure one of these dolls sooner, before they got so overblown on the market. And it just didn't work out for me to join this last pre-order. I had other layaways and things going, and it just wasn't going to be responsible or for me to try to get him then. But yeah, I love this body, and I'm glad that I at least have this one. And yeah, so go ahead, we'll get blushed to match this, and this will be so this is another pair of the pants that I made, and I made them out of this burnt orange corduroy and coordinating teal belt that I made. And yeah, I think it suits him really good. And then I got this, I had ordered this off of AliExpress, and I was hoping that I'd be able to put it on this guy. It's meant for, obviously when it came in, I knew it was going to be like too small. This is probably meant for more like a SD13 or something like that. So we forced it on. And I really, this is like my passion, is the burnt orange with teal. Like I'm just all about that color combination. I've made the corsets. I've made several corsets in that color combination. Made these pants. So that is just, I just freaking love it. But yeah, this guy's kind of different and quirky, and I don't know quite who he is, but we've been having a good time. been having a fun time figuring it out. Yep. He's wearing, yeah, he's another one of those sculpts that definitely has pretty big feet. These shoes are a little bit oversized on him, but it's like, it's either these, there wasn't really an in-between. I have either gigantic or too small. It's like nothing, but I don't mind these. They kind of, he's got this kind of awkward, gangly aesthetic to him, and these are from Dolce. They're made for the Dolce 28M body, and they fit. They're one of the only, there's not many shoes that fit that body. That body has very, very big feet. So they're a little large, but yeah, there's not many shoes that fit Dolce, these 28M, and then so I guess what I heard or read was that Fifth Motif sculptor, which I don't know how to say his name, but because I know when I got him, I'd already had my Dolce body, and I was really struck by just a lot of the similarities in the aesthetics of the sculpting, especially of the hands and feet. Just like it was a certain, it just has a very similar stylistic, and I saw that. But I guess that Fifth Motif, the sculptor, he was taught by Dolce. So the sculptor, I don't know what his name is. I don't know how to pronounce it or say it, but the main sculptor for that started Dolce, he actually taught Fifth Motifs, the artist, how to sculpt. So that's where he learned how to make BJDs. So that makes sense then that they would have a really similar style that way. And I'm really, really loving the Dolce bodies the Mystic body and the Con body, which I can't remember. I think they do just call it the Mystic body, but the Con body, they have another designation for it besides the Con body, and I can't remember what that is. But those bodies, I just love the hands and the feet. The female body that I have, the 28M, like the sculpting on her, like I am these most recent dolls that Dolce has been making the last couple of years, I aesthetically, they're very, very gorgeous. And they had this, I hate admitting this because it seems so excessive, but the deal was so good. Like, of course, they're having their 40% sale, and they had it for several months, which was terrible because here, you know, like, oh, their sale is still going. And I love these bodies so much. Like, I just, like, like the bodies that I want for my male dolls, like, if they could all be like this and like that. Like I do like I love the Granado body, and I do like having different body types, but I just are really in love with the Dolce aesthetic of the last couple of years. Just really love it. So I have the Mystic body and I have the Con body on layaway, as well as another female, the 26F Classic. So it was, I ordered them over like 3 different months. So, and BJD Divas gives you a 6-month layaway. So it spreads it out pretty good. I have no idea when those bodies will, you know, when those dolls will be made. I feel like I got pretty lucky with my last few Dolce orders. They came, you know, I didn't wait a year. So yeah, I don't know if I'll be as lucky as that, because they sent out an email about how they're withdrawing from all of their dealers because of too many people buying the dolls that are on sale. And it's like, well, if you have your dolls on sale 40% off and you do that for 3 or 4 months, like, I mean, lots of people are going to order, isn't that, and that's kind of what you want. So I don't know. I don't understand Dolce. But I love their dolls, and I hope it doesn't take a year, but if it does, like, you know, better get in line, I guess. Because I do eventually, you know, I want those dolls, so that's the only way to get them, essentially. Maybe they'd come up on the secondhand market, maybe they wouldn't, you know, who knows what kind of price they would be. So, okay, we're 20 minutes in. Maybe I'll go ahead and cut it off and make one more here to kind of go over some stuff. Okay, I think I'm going to put this on this video, though, because I can finish kind of talking about my guys and the wardrobes that I've been working on for them. So this is my gorgeous Doll's Own Robin. He is Lark, and he is wearing a pair of the pants that I've made with the belt. This one turned out just a little short. This pair was super difficult to make because it's not an actual corduroy. It is something very strange, and ended up not getting any pockets because the pockets I made when I tried to iron them, the fabric melted onto my iron. So I have no idea what this fabric is, but it was a huge pain in the butt, but I liked how they turned out at the end. I think they're really, they just have a very nice texture and color. Like, I'm just a huge fan of this kind of brownish gold color, and this was the lining. I just love it. So yeah, Doll's Own Robin, and this was another one of those dolls that I just was in love with forever and finally gave in and ordered him. So I've been really about my guy dolls the last couple of weeks. I'm really happy with you know, they're finally all kind of coming in, and I've got one more on the way. The tracking is still saying that it's in Sweden, but it's been for a few days, so it's got to have moved by now, I would think. But see, most things come from Europe like a week or two. Okay, so I especially made this pair a couple centimeters longer to try to fit the super long sole body. This is Victor. He is my Rumpel doll Abaddon head, and he is on a 75 centimeter long sole body. And which I love. I love this body. It is just a really gorgeous. Long Soul is a wonderful company. They make beautiful dolls. They make the resin's gorgeous, the engineering's gorgeous. This body is just super well made. And I have 3 Long Soul big boy bodies. I did take out, he had the little leg extenders, which probably put another couple centimeters. So he's probably more like 73 centimeters now since I took those out. I'd been meaning to take them out for a while. And then when I made these pants, I made them extra long and they were still too short. I went ahead and took those out. Because he's just excessively tall. No one needs to be that tall. But he's still plenty tall, and I love his long aesthetic. Yeah, very long, lean guy. So these are the pair I made for him. They are this gray corduroy. Everybody has a teal leather belt except for Lark. He's got the brown belt. But basically use the same pattern as I have on all of these guys. I did make them a little more slim, but I wanted to be able, basically I wanted to be able to interchange these pants to any of my bigger guys. Because usually what I do is when I sew something, I am sewing it for the one doll, and it's going to be really tailored to that doll. But it kind of restricts me later if I decide I want to mix and match different outfits. And so I really made an effort to make these, you know, the belt. So if it's a little bit too big, you can use the belt to kind of cinch it in a little bit. And that way I have the ability to kind of mix and match a little more and not have to make 15 million things for each individual doll that they can share. I'm not remaking something over and over, exact same fabrics and colors just because it's like a centimeter off. So I've been really happy with how those kind of work. Okay. All right, so I'm going to split this off and do updates number 3. Okay, bye guys.